Alexandra Druchen's music as Eartheater deals in opposing forces. Her songs interlace acoustic instruments, like guitar and violin, with harsh electronic drums and eerie synthesizer figures. She tends to juxtapose startling beauty with cutting ugliness. Her third album, IRISIRI, exacerbates the contrasts she set up across her first two records. Where her previous albums, Metalepsis and Rip Chrysalis, both released in 2015, were often hypnotic and ambient, IRISIRI demands a new kind of attention. It's the sort of record that lulls listeners into a trance only to snap them out of it with a blast of noise or an incongruous shriek. From Ling vinyl samples to electric guitar loops, IRISIRI boasts a wide variety of clashing textures. Certain moments, like the stuttering MTTM, find kinship with Nicholas Jarre's searching grooves, while CLIT has enough of a rock edge that it could be an emo track run through a centrifuge. Druchen delights in scrambling genre signifiers, but it's her vocal work on this album that breaks the most rules. She knows that a scream is not in itself an act of defiance, and that there are other sounds a voice can produce, especially a woman's voice, that jut past the boundaries of accepted musical language. Druchen sings throughout IRISIRI, often in ways that prove her technical ability. She can hit high notes and she can evoke the timbre of sacred music, as she does against discordant electronics on Trespasses. She also screeches, simpers, and whines throughout the album, all vocal techniques that run the risk of being called annoying, a far more dismissive adjective to apply to a woman singing than abrasive, harsh, or angry. But she finds life in that confrontational space. When, uninclined, she yes her voice on the outer edges of her range, she calls into question why women's voices are heard the way they are. A violin loops in the background, crowding Druchen's delivery with a suggestion of decorum, all while SHES cramping her voice, starving it of oxygen, and rubbing it the wrong way. It's as though a man once told her she sang obnoxiously and, rather than clean up her tone, she decided to double down on all the elements that might irritate the patriarchal ear. Eartheater hints at the threat femininity poses to the male world order across a number of tracks, most notably Inhale Baby, which features vocals from the LA-based experimental duo Oddwalla 1221. Inhale Baby Pink, Exhale Red, Chloe Murata repeats, as if urging her collaborators to alchemize their compulsive docility into fiery rage. Later, an element of body horror appears in the duo's spoken word contribution. There's so much stuff coming out of my skirt, says Flannery Silver, stretching out her consonants as if pronouncing a threat. The album's other feature, by the Philadelphia experimentalist More Mother, on the frantic MMXXX, complements Druchen's vaulting melodies with this deadly defiant verse. As the two vocalists sing and rap over aggressive beats, sirens, and sounds of breaking glass, the contrast between them produces the record's high point. There is hardly any melody to speak of, yet MMXXX ranks among the most addictive song Eartheater has put to tape. It has so much energy it doesn't need a hook. I rejected that culture, Druchen wails over raging guitars on CLIT, an advanced single whose name stands for Curiosity Liberates Infinite Truth. The impulse to cast off cultural standards dictating how music should sound dominates IRISIRI, which seems most interested in articulating femininity outside the constraints of patriarchal expectations. In Eartheater's burgeoning musical world, women don't need to fold their voices in service of beauty. They are free to make a ruckus, to sound monstrous, to gnash their teeth at anyone who would pen them in.